the more comics you read, the more respect you have for different members of Darkseid's armies or just female Furies in general. Like, there's multiple beings that used to be a part of the Furies. Big Barda's one of them. There's multiple beings in this Furies group that are Kryptonian level to some degree or some way, shape, or fashion. The longer this video goes, the more you're going to understand why. Barda's ridiculously strong, and she does not like the fact that people even joke about Barda being able to beat her. Hope you guys enjoy. Oh boy. Apocalyptic power that can hang with the strength of super Kryptonian-centric type beings. Body that's resilient enough to stop a car just by standing there in front of the car. That's the being Knockout. In DC Comics, you're probably familiar with this group of strong female fighters that fights for Darkseid, works for Darkseid on Apokolips, known as the Furies. It's female warriors that are really strong and tough. One of the most famous ones is probably the one you already know of, Big Barda. I mean, anybody should have respect for Big Barda. Anybody that can lock arms with Wonder Woman this well, you gotta have some kind of respect for her. I mean, we're talking about Wonder Woman is the same being that's literally strong enough, just like Superman and Martian Manhunter, strong enough to pull planetoids and stuff. You gotta respect her. There's other Furies or former Fury type beings that you might not know about. Knockout, for example, is one of them. See, although the Furies are a strong female warrior group, they kind of got treated bad. You know, Granny Goodness is kind of savage. She would beat the women and stuff. But the character I want to go over today, Knockout, she grew up on Apokolips, planet of the evil gods. Even as a Fury trainee, she knew Granny's Goodness loved her because she would beat them. The reason why you probably don't know about her being a Fury is because she kind of escaped from Apokolips. She was kind of inspired by Big Barda. You know, Big Barda was one of the leaders of the Furies and she left. So she said, oh, if Barda's going to leave, then I'm going to leave too. You could look at it like she got inspired from her. I guess seeing somebody that used to train you in these fiery pits of Apokolips end up leaving the Furies, I guess she said, yo, it's my time to leave too. Because she was confident she could take even Barda in single combat. So yeah, Knockout broke free, became a dancer because of the costumes. She didn't want to be found. She never thought she would put on her classic colors again. But something reminded her that the things that made her blood pound and heart race. Let's analyze how strong she is. Due to her new god nature, it's pretty self-explanatory that she's legitly bulletproof. She's legitly getting shot and nothing's happening. You see the bullets literally hit her skin and she's okay. Apocalyptic warriors are trained for every scenario basically. Even psionic attacks, she's resistant to brain psionic type beings. I mean, she literally can hide her thoughts. They even talk about how Knockout has mental defenses. She's obviously been trained to block telepathic probes. I mean, she was a warrior of Apokolips, and she has certain titles like Knockout is the goddess of sex and violence, and she kinda likes to flirt. And she seems to find Superboy really attractive. To the point, there was a time she actually lived up to her name being Knockout. I mean, she literally was a stripper. She ended up quitting stripping because she decided to move in with Superboy. She finds Superboy attractive, but also likes to fight. I mean, I guess it matches up with her new god physiology. She always had to fight, to train with the Furies and stuff. So some might call it unorthodox, but that's the way she kind of flirts with powerful beings, like what she did with Superboy. She likes to fight, but she agrees she doesn't like fighting robots as much as fighting actual beings. I mean, she literally likes training Superboy in all kinds of ways. Other gear she apparently has is her own apparent mother box, according to Barda. You know, it's a new god piece of technology, you know. The cool thing about Knockout is that she's a straightforward type character, super strength, super speed. Like, you see her in the green outfit right here. Her muscles are really strong. She can lift up normal sized people with one arm with ease, fold up metal and wrap people up in metal like it's a blanket, jump to vehicles, rip pieces of the vehicles off with her bare hands, even lift and slam certain vehicles or cars, proving she can lift over 10 tons. She can lift like tractor trailer trucks with her muscle. It's even stated that Knockout can rip trucks in half. There's implications that Knockout can lift probably over 100 tons. She can literally kind of lift up a tank with one arm. So with two arms, she more than likely can probably lift up 120 tons or something. There's an extremely high implication she can lift way more than just over hundreds of tons when her muscles are clashing with Kryptonian level beings consistently. Like Matrix Supergirl, for example, like this is a different Supergirl, Linda Danvers. I know lifting weights and punching is a little bit different from each other, but let's just say she's not that weak. She might be weaker than the other Supergirls. You would probably try to say the main Supergirl's got her beat, but hey, when you can punch the real Supergirl this hard, and imply to do damage, you can't be a weakling in comparison. You know what I mean? Let's just say multiple warriors of Apokolips female warriors have a hard time restraining this same Supergirl, this Matrix Linda Danvers Supergirl. She can land a plane safely, use her power to basically get this cruise ship in order, stuff that weighs over tens of thousands or even up to 50,000s of tons. Other Kryptonian tiers working together, move battleships or push them. You see what I mean? Like, this would imply Knockout should also be in that range of being able to not only lift up hundreds of tons, but over 50,000s of tons, being able to match these Kryptonian tier beings kind of like this much in muscle. I find it weird that they kind of imply that Knockout couldn't lift a whole island, right? Which I think is kind of BS considering, because we kind of see Knockout and Big Barda's muscle entangle a bit. Like, there was this fight between Big Barda and Knockout. Big Barda was winning. I'm not trying to like overhype Knockout or nothing, but she was clashing with Big Barda quite a bit in muscle. For them to say she can't lift an island or to imply she couldn't lift an island is kind of really silly, considering Knockout locking arms with Big Barda this much. And in this particular occasion, Knockout's one of her arms was messed up pretty bad, and she was still kind of holding her ground against Big Barda. Considering there was times where Big Barda, her muscle can support via this gravity. This gravity was putting the weight of a continent on Big Barda, and she was able to support it. So I don't see why Knockout matching Big Barda like this, it wouldn't kind of imply she'd be able to lift up a continent or more and stuff. It just seems weird. Mistaken dialogue or something? I don't know. Yeah, she can lift a whole island. Like, just forget that. It don't make no sense. Not to mention the stuff gets worse when it comes to strength. She's matching Superboy in muscle, and I'm back to this girl, Matrix Supergirl again. It gets even crazier. The reason why matching her is so crazy is because the beings, like the Furies, somebody that Knockout was training to be like, these Furies matched up with this same Supergirl, this Matrix Supergirl, and they say when they was pulling her, it felt like she's got the pull of a freaking black hole. This makes me get into the other conversation. How hard can Knockout hit? Matching the muscles of these beings. When you gotta match the muscles of these beings, you know you gotta be able to punch hard. There's plenty of implications that Knockout can cause discomfort for these Superman, Supergirl, Kryptonian tier beings, durability wise and such with her hits. She can hurt these or harm these beings. Knockout matching these kind of beings, when they say she has the pull of a black hole, this kind of stuff would imply Knockout has to be easily above those planet shattering ranges, even star shattering. I mean, look at their facial expressions. So sure, it is a statement, but it definitely does seem accurate about Knockout having planet-shattering type of punches to be able to affect these Kryptonians, the same ones that are being compared to black holes. You see what I mean? And if you have your doubts about Knockout's punches being this strong based on the lack of visuals, well, it's pretty much shown all the strength we see her have against these Kryptonians and Big Barda, new god level beings. We see it actually in action when it comes to her punching power. We see her body be able to withstand hits from beings on a similar power level as her. There's plenty of times of her punching and shattering smaller things, glass, even brick walls. We see her punch through here. The floor she can punch through. The weight of her hits can hit the ground so hard to where she can make a shockwave and hit her opponent from far away just by doing a ground pound. All this she can punch through, lift up these beings with one arm and hit them so hard they go flying. The weight of her hits can total beings as cars. That's shown here via combo attack when she punched this being into this car. I mean, she hit this being through him so hard that he went through this freaking helicopter. I'm showing all these lesser feats just to show that she can use her strength in combat. She can hit really hard, like this giant robot crab, for example, despite it being way larger than herself, building is house size type thing. The weight of her hits can damage such mecha type structures. So when they say stuff about black hole stuff, it's not, yeah, I mean, she's fighting alongside Superboy. So yeah, they gotta be similar, right? Stuff like leveling buildings is easy to her due to her tier she's in. I shouldn't even have to spend time on this kind of stuff. Poor drones, even if they're apocalyptic, they don't stand a chance against her punches. They literally said to get out of that cell, she would have to have more punch than a small nuclear bomb. So yeah, she can punch harder than nuclear bombs casually, nowhere near her max, might I add. Hear me out. I know Matrix Supergirl is a different type of Supergirl, but hey, look what she can do to Superman. Not saying she's stronger or nothing, but just letting you know. Like, Matrix Supergirl ain't no joke. I'll let you do the math. When you see them write panel for panels with these kind of characters like this, the writers are kind of implying they want Knockout to be somewhere in that range of power. Because I know people don't like to take this stuff seriously because there's a lot of lower tiers that scuffle with top tiers. This doesn't seem like a scuffle though. This seems like a full-blown fight. This isn't one of those situations where you see Batman scuffle with Superman. Obviously, Batman's nowhere near in the same league of Superman at all, obviously, in muscle. But this, I feel like it's a little different. The panels, the way they're drawing, the discomfort in her face from the blunt hits from Knockout. You know what I mean? I feel like this is a little bit different fighting Matrix Supergirl. What do you think? I don't see how you couldn't take those black hole statements seriously when you see her do this to Superboy. Her slugfesting with beings that have the pool of black holes starting to make a lot more sense when she can do this to Superboy Kryptonian tiers. Don't you agree? Yeah, these panels are pretty clear, showing off her range of punching power, and she literally is strong enough to knock out Superboy. Aquaman, somebody that's really underrated, by the way, had issues really causing significant damage to Superboy, by the way, just to let you know. Why Knockout being able to actually knock out Superboy is impressive. Not saying Superboy's on the level of Superboy Prime or nothing, but yo, yeah, Superboy Prime kind of can mess up the fabric of the universe and grab with the retconning punch and while he was weakened, oh man. This kind of stuff would imply Knockout being in his Kryptonian range of power. Not saying she's necessarily equal to Superboy Prime, but like if she's somewhere in the neighborhood of the normal Superboy, this would kind of prove, you know, since Superboy literally had the slugfest with Superboy Prime and stuff, she's in that neighborhood with the high-end Kryptonians. I'm talking about shaking the fabric of the very universe type of power. Yeah. I mean, she knocked a Kryptonian tier out and made him sleepy. So, I mean, Superboy literally tried to knock her out, saying, I'm gonna carry you, aka he was trying to knock her out, and she just ate that jump. Oh yeah, she's fought Superboy multiple times, withstood hits from Superboy and just shrugged it off. How much proof do you guys need? Like, literally hurting Superboy. Her body being durable enough to withstand his punches. Not only that, she seems to be enjoying herself. Clear indication that the writers want them to be able to punch similar to each other. It's clear as day. Oh yeah, by the way, we've actually seen her box King Shark and make him very hurt. Somebody that can kind of give Superman some annoyance. You see what I mean? And she might have not have won, but we see her scrap it out with Big Barda herself to show she's not a feather in comparison. But yeah, I will admit Big Barda got the W here though. Messing up Knockout's arm here, but Knockout shows to be able to hit her enough to hurt her. You see the blood Knockout can cause Big Barda. So yeah, Knockout's a powerhouse. You see what I mean? Pretty difficult scrap fest between these two. Yeah, Knockout's somewhere in that Wonder Woman range because Wonder Woman never treats Big Barda like she's just a lightweight. So just a friendly reminder that the people that Knockout's fighting with aren't slow. I know you can't tell in some of them panels, but yeah, the people she's fighting, she's keeping up with them in fighting speed, hand speed. If she was ridiculously slow, we know how fast Kryptonians are. The fact that Superboy can't just straight up blitz her shows how her fighting speed is, and we literally see her die stuff Superboy throws at her. Kryptonian-esque or centric type beings even talk about how she's faster than they expected. Stuff like this implies she's way faster than the speed of light type combat speed, like normal DC stuff when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. You know, it's even stated that Superboy could do anything Superman can do. So yeah, I'm not trying to make this video super long. Yeah, but Superman has some crazy combat speed feats. Yeah, Superboy should be able to do similar stuff when it comes to combat speed, and Knockout can compete with Superboy in combat speed. So yeah, her fighting speed is obvious. If it's not obvious, why didn't none of these Kryptonian tier beings in the same video just blitz her during these fights? You see, if she was just astronomically slow compared to them, she wouldn't be able to land a hit really. So yeah, obviously she can land a hit, so she's not slow. Her speed is even acknowledged on scans like this. So, but guys, what do you guys think? She will literally throw sofas or beds at you if you just disturb her. Like, share, subscribe, turn on the notifications for the channel, and thanks for the donations, y'all. Knockout. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.